world at war, forever, evermore. Good battle is good business and ain't nothing for the poor. The world at war, forever, evermore. Good battle is good business and ain't nothing for the poor. The world at war, forever, evermore. Good battle is good business and ain't nothing for the poor. The world at war, forever, evermore. What you fighting for? Oh, what you fighting for? So what you fighting for? So what you fighting for?
Your comments will be quite important in the process ahead. I think that the contribution of NGOs and, generally speaking, your own views and whatever you do on the ground in relation to the UN gas targets are important.
My name is Polak from the European organization Encod. I doubt what you say, that you're open to be challenged. I had a bad experience in that respect with you, sir. I'm sorry to say, and that was at the New Orleans conference that you mentioned, where I put a very simple question to you, and twice I put that question to you, and you refused to answer, and you started to stray away and talk about other things, but you did not answer the question, so I'll do it again now, if I may. A simple question. In Holland, we have cannabis is available for everybody who wants to use it and who is an adult over 18 years. So there is no restriction on the personal use of cannabis and on possession of small quantities. Yet, the levels of use of cannabis in Holland are lower than in the countries surrounding us. And I said to you, this must be a problem for you. I would like to know how you explain this, because this is contrary to the theory of drug prohibition. This is contrary to how the whole system here is working, and I would like to know how you understand this. And you refused to answer this question. So I put the question to you again.
Oh, my friend, I did not refuse. Actually, I got into trouble because, as you recall, in New Orleans, as I was addressing this very point of the Netherlands, I made certain statements that were then picked up by the Dutch press, and they were used in a formal statement about stigmatizing my own behavior in the Netherlands. So I did not, and I didn't recall you personally, sorry, 1,200 people, but I do recall your question. The answer to your question comes from the Netherlands himself, for example, from the very same mayor of Amsterdam. As you know, no more than 14 years ago, there were 2,600 coffee shops selling marijuana. In the Netherlands, there have been a decreasing number and size progressively. There are about 550 now. The administration of Amsterdam decided to move them out of the city, out of the red district, towards the borders of Germany, Belgium, and France, obviously making clear that the government itself and the administration consider the experiment a failure. And I would like to put an end to that, period. Thanks.
Do you think that this is an answer to my question?
Well, if not, forget it.
Oh, I hear you. This is your willingness to be challenged.
Oh, come on. Stop. I mean, I'm not here for a personal debate. We are not a debating society. We want to solve the world drug problem, period. Please, sir, I rule you out of order, okay? Period.
No, I posed you a question which is really central to the issue here. How do you explain the fact that in Holland the levels of use of cannabis are lower than in the surrounding countries? This is a very clear question, and I would like to know, you must have an explanation for it.
The mayor of Amsterdam has decided to do what I just told you.
You're mistaking him with the mayor of Maastricht, that's the first thing, and whether it
has... Do you have a question on the left here?
There is a question that you tried to raise several times already. When did you raise it first? Why do you raise it? Why do you think it's important?
The first time I raised the question was at the DPA meeting in New Orleans, and Costa had that he came there in itself was very good, I think, was really okay. And after his plenary speech, he was in a discussion in a smaller group, And there were many questions for him, and there I asked this question already, but he simply avoided it, and when I came back with the same question, he got mad and he started to scold and he said things like Holland is not the good guy of Europe, and Holland produces all the amphetamine, and Holland poisons Europe, and things like that. And again I said, yes, but sir, you do not answer my question. And I thought, in his position, he must have an opinion on this. He cannot, he is paid by us taxpayers to do this work, and he must be able to explain when something like this happens, which is contrary to the whole idea of drug prohibition. So when I got the opportunity here at the meeting, I again asked him the question about the Dutch experiences with the coffee shops and with cannabis, and how he explains that the usage level is lower in Holland with free availability of cannabis. And again, he avoids it and he starts to talk about other things. And I thought it's a pity. I should have said clearer that the coffee shops really are so objectionable for other countries. They want them to disappear. And why? Because the coffee shops prove the uselessness of drug prohibition and simply that drug prohibition is not necessary.
The world, the world, the world, the world, the world. Such a wonder, now you've heard the second strike now. The world, I war, forever, evermore. Good battle is good business, and nothing for the poor. The world, I war, forever, evermore. Good battle is good business, and nothing for the poor. The world, I war, before the fight more. Good battle is good business, ain't nothing for the poor. Yo, world, I war, forever, evermore. Yo, that's what you pay for.